Welcome, everybody, to the KQ Show, Episode 16, Instructional Guide for Your Listening Pleasure. For those new to the show, hi, I'm Kyle. I'm just like everyone else. I wake up, turn my stove on by showing it sexy pictures of other stoves, then start my day. As a young lad, I had what my parents would call the gift of gab. I love conversations, interesting people, and laughing. I'll be chatting with business owners, content creators, two-handed jugglers, and meatless ice. Today's episode brings us talking with Wheezy Blonde. I sit down with Alexis Leatherman, a.k.a. Wheezy Blonde, on TikTok. With almost 2 million likes and 83,000 followers, she's the biggest TikToker in northern Indiana. From wrestling videos, Olympic weight training, to living in Indiana, she gives us insight on her social media rise to fame and how she maintains a balance in her personal life. Enjoy the show. KQ Show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the KQ Show, episode 16. My guest today, she's currently a hairstylist at Studio 16. She's a Green Power Ranger enthusiast. And with almost 2 million likes and 83,000 followers, she's the biggest thing Northern Indiana has on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, Lexi Wheezy Blonde.
Hi.
So I didn't know how you really wanted me to enter, like, with your name. You have like 12.
I know. So no, anything is fine. Online, I feel like people are calling me Wheezy. In my real life, majority of people call me by my full name, Alexis. And then there's a few people that call me Lex. But you can call me whatever.
Okay, and I went with Lexi, the only one you don't get called.
That's
okay.
fine. Well, some
that's
people
good.
will do that too. That's okay.
So first off, from your channel, obviously from wrestling to Hacienda to everything South Bend, I kind of mentioned before we started that, when I started the podcast, I was kind of looking for people, interesting people. Mm-hmm. And every time I type Mishawaka, South Bend, Michiana, which most people don't even know that word exists,
yes.
You just kept popping up.
Yeah.
And it's a fun channel. It does seem like I don't really know shit about wrestling, but you have fun with it. And it's kind of definitely like an Indiana vibe. So I was like, because some people, they'll hashtag Indiana. It's just really weird doing weird stuff, like watching somebody garden or something. But it was pretty cool. So I'm glad we got our wrestling gear on.
Do you even know who's on my shirt?
I don't. I was going to ask you. I'm like, so that's probably after 2000.
Oh yeah, it's very recent, but it's okay.
Who is it?
You don't have to know. They're from AEW now. One is Orange Cassidy, and the other is Danhausen.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was listening to some. I'm like, I don't know what any of this stuff means.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because you mentioned, I think you got back into wrestling like 2016.
Around then, yep.
Yeah. So what made you get back into it, and then how did the TikTok thing kind of take off?
The wrestling, so getting back into wrestling was 2015, 2016. That was when a new faction was debuting. Someone basically told me to check it back out because they knew I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid. And so I just started watching it again. Didn't really tell anyone that I did. It was just something that I did at home in the privacy of my own home. My husband would make fun of me for it. And then TikTok started 2020, at the end of 2020. And I really started out making more fitness content because I was working out. Mm-hmm. And I made one random video where I showed like a couple of the memorabilia things that I have, like action figures, with a trending sound, and it blew up. And so everyone was like, "You're a wrestling fan? You're a wrestling fan? What? What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And every time I made, a wrestling related video, I would get a lot of views. So I just ended up running with it. I fought it for a while, but I ended up just running with it.
So what are kind of some of the big misconceptions? I guess being a content creator, being a female content creator and kind of more of a male dominated sport. I mean, because when I look up all the wrestling stuff, you're the only really.
There's a wonderful group of us on TikTok that are all females. There are probably about 15 of us in that realm, and it's great. But the biggest misconception, I would say, is that people automatically assume that you don't know anything about it. They think that you just know like base level, which would be fine. But they're like, "Oh yeah, I've had this comment all the time where people are like, it doesn't matter if you like a wrestler just because you think they're cute." And like, that's not at all what it is. But okay. I mean, sure. That's probably the biggest misconception. Other than that, I would say the community online has been really great as far as being respectful. You get a little things here and then. That's never going to go away. But for the most part, people are pretty great. I've met some awesome people through it.
Mm-hmm. I saw you went to, a recent show or something, another TikToker ran into you.
I went to SmackDown in Grand Rapids, and that was my first live show I've ever been to. It's my first WWE show I've ever been to. And I did meet up with one of my TikToker friends that lives near there. And then I also met through TikTok a referee for WWE. His name is Jason Ayers. And I met up with him too. And he actually hung out with us that night, which was it was awesome. It was fun to meet people that you make friends with online. And, yeah.
Like you didn't mention the video that blew up. I mean, how many views, likes, like what have you wake up and it was just like blown up? And what'd you go through?
That particular video, I think it got like 800,000 views, and it was a slow climb. So like at first it was 20,000, and at the time that was a lot. And then over time, like the more that people engage with it and like it and comment, the views just continue to go up, and then it gets pushed out to more people. And you know how that works. If someone sees, oh, she's a wrestling fan, they follow. And so I ended up having, with all of the different content I was putting out. So I started out doing the fitness content, and then I made a couple of videos about living in Indiana. And so I got a ton of followers just from this area. And then I started making wrestling content. So I got a ton of followers from that fan base. So I have this weird mixing pot of a fan base that I try to kind of keep everyone involved over time. That's why I have such an array of content that I put out.
Nice. Yeah. So you mentioned that you build this big community, and you kind of feel like if you don't keep posting that you'll lose it. Yeah. So what do you mean? Kind of elaborate what you kind of mean on that.
Okay. So I'll start when I was a teenager. YouTube was first starting to get big, like 2005, 2006. Yep. And all of the creators on there at the time weren't even being compensated for what they were doing, but it seemed like so much fun. You had daily vloggers, you had people that were making their own like regular content and stations and stuff. And I was 15 and I really wanted to do that. And I remember my dad bought me a camera and I, tried to do it, but I just didn't have the means. I didn't have the equipment to do any of that, so I didn't. And so I always just I thought that was so cool, just being able to do what you want to do at your own pace and your own schedule and putting it out there. And I always just wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be an online personality, which at that time was not a thing. Fast forward to today, and it's a regular thing, and I caught that little glimpse of it. Like for a normal person, the most famous you're ever going to get is that. Like that's what it's going to be. So it's...
What do you mean?
When you're a normal person and you work a regular 9-to-5 job and you don't have any aspirations to be actually famous, like your engagement and your views on TikTok that's as famous as you're going to get. So for someone like me, so I don't want to lose that. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so a couple of things. So what's the biggest challenge that you have to, that you kind of battle?
Time constraints are hard because another thing about being a TikTok creator is you have to push the content out regularly or the algorithm will just spit you out and not give you any more views. So I work a full-time job. I am married. I have a life and friends and social life and things that I like to do. So fitting in the time to make good content that is worth viewing, but also live my life is challenging at times. But I feel like I do a decent job at it. It's not too...
So what are some things you do? I mean, how do you separate the two?
I'll record ahead of time. Like if I have some ideas, I'll save videos in my drafts. And then if I just did it the other night, I'll be out at dinner and grab my phone and be like, yeah, it's a good time. Because if I post after like 7 p.m., I get good engagement. So I'll be at dinner like, let me just post this real quick, put my hashtag send, put it down. And then I can be back into what I'm doing.
Nice. So you see more traction out of that then? So have you figured out, because I can't fucking figure out these damn algorithms on anything. Like it's crazy. And now they're like, hey, Kyle, 20% off. You want to pay $30 to have like, I did it once. I paid like the $10, like 20% off, whatever. And I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. And it was just fake accounts that followed me. I had like 40 fake accounts and then like 12 different 13-year-old kids accounts, which is weird. I'm like, I don't understand that. I was just like, okay, well, that didn't work. It was kind of a waste of my $8.
That's how they get people. They trick people into doing that. And those followers we were just looking at this yesterday. It's fake accounts.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's bots and things that don't even really give you any engagement. So it doesn't even matter. Like you want actual people following you that you get to interact with. That's the biggest thing I can say about my following is all of it was just by circumstance. Like it happened. All of them are real people and comment and engage with me, and I get to have conversations, and it makes it really nice. It's fun.
I mean, it seems like you definitely enjoy it. I mean, it's fun to watch when you see somebody in there like just that actually, puts, I guess, kind of effort into it. Like there's a lot of people that just, what's weird about TikTok is how you can just record somebody else's stuff and just kind of share it onto your own page. I don't, it kind of blows me away. But I do want to touch base with one thing, is I posted one funny, I use Amazon reviews. Like I'll just say I bought something and see if Amazon will clear it. Yeah. It's crazy amount of stuff they let. So I put one on there. it's a little R-rated, but they right away, nope, restricted. One more warning. Now, I saw that you got banned. So what is? How do people get banned, and what's going on with all that?
So I usually get banned. I do live videos where I go live and I'll talk to a live audience and people can watch me in real time. The TikTok, I don't know if it's a security system or if it's like a filter system. If they sense any certain words or if somebody reports you, they'll automatically take the video down or block you from live access, and then you're banned for like a week. And you can appeal it. Mm-hmm. So I always get marked for harassment and bullying. I'm a wrestling fan. I deal with a bunch of men that come in my live and start talking trash. And so I'll talk trash back. Mm-hmm. And then I get flagged and my videos get taken down and then I can't go live for a week. It's very hit or miss on how they ban people. Like if I'm a smaller creator, like I have 80 whatever thousand, I don't create any revenue for the app really. I don't do sponsorships. I don't do anything like that. So they'll take mine down, no problem. There is a creator by the name, and I love her, but there's a creator by the name of Drew Afwalo. I don't know if you know of her, but her entire shtick is like fighting misogyny. Mm-hmm. So she'll react to videos of men just talking trash about women and she drags them and it's amazing. Like it really is great. But where's the line of you're allowing her to do that because she has like 12 million followers and that's okay. But then the small creators that are just defending themselves get their videos taken down because we're not making the app any money. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So what are your thoughts on trying to, I mean, are you, because I don't know how any of the ad revenue works at all. Yeah. I mean, is there so many? I thought like after a certain point, if you make a certain amount, they can.
It's pennies. You can apply for the creator fund on TikTok, and I don't even know how exactly it works. Like how many likes or how many views you get before they start paying you something. I don't care. I think I started the creator fund in June of last year, and I've made $400. In that entire time. And I haven't even cashed it out. It just sits in this little creator fund bank and I don't touch it because I don't want to pay taxes on it. But I figure like if I need it at some point, I could do it. But yeah, most of the creators make their money through ad sponsors or they push products on their page. Like I get emails all the time from different products that I could, either get a free product for it or they'll give me a code that people could put in when they buy the product and I get a cut of it, but I've never been interested in doing that because I never really care about any of the products that they send me. It's always weird stuff. Yeah.
Everything for guys is Manscaped. That's every single advertise. Yeah, it's just always Manscaped.
That is on a big one.
Yeah, it's kind of a niche market. I mean, I feel like it's just
I mean, if it works, whatever, cool.
Yeah. Overall, like what do you think out of social media in general? What do you see more traction? What do you have more fun with?
Definitely just, I'll ask questions I like to engage my audience. So I'll ask them questions about something, usually wrestling related, and they'll be able to stitch the video and reply back and tell me either an experience that they've had or like an opinion they have about wrestling. And I've learned a lot through that. I've also, weaved in a lot of Indiana stuff. I think the other day I just asked like, how's everybody doing in Indiana? Like it's hot. Like how's everybody doing? And I got a bunch of stitches of like guys in factories like I'm not okay. So that's kind of fun too. I think being from the Midwest, we don't get the best like reputation. I feel like everyone's like, oh, the Midwest is boring. The Midwest,
especially the northern Midwest.
Yeah. So someone being out there and being like, I live in Indiana and I love it. People are like, what? You're not talking trash about the place you live? What's wrong with you? So it's something different for people to interact with.
That's cool. Yeah. So walk me through first off, the hacienda thing. I feel like you explained it right. Because if somebody dips red and then into my ranch, I'm done with them. They can't be.
You don't like.
You got to go ranch, then you go white, then red. That's how. Okay. If you're sharing it, if people are sharing dips.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm saying, so because sometimes I like to go just straight white. Hey, maybe just I'll go all ranch. I
have the friends that take the spoon, take the ranch, put the plop of it in the salsa, and then they mix it all up. So then you've got the red and the ranch mixed together, and then it turns like that pink mixture. I don't really care for that.
It reminds me of the juice that comes out of the ketchup that you don't want.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a very liquidy base. Yeah. So what happened? So they sent you like some gear, right?
They did. Because what was it? WWE was doing a show down in Evansville, and I made a TikTok saying, hey, if you're in the Evansville area, you should try Hacienda because I think they have like 4 locations down there. And one of the managers at one of those locations messaged me and said, I'm sending this to corporate. And then someone from their social media account messaged me and was like, we'd love to send you a gift box for making all the content about us you do. And so, yeah, they sent me. And I haven't redeemed my 64-ounce ranch growler yet. I'm saving that for a rainy day, but
are you going to try to like just drink it one day or?
I mean, I'll save it. I could, share it with people.
So I'm a huge ranch connoisseur. Like I love ranch. Like
What's
that's
your favorite
my
ranch?
I'm glad you asked. So I've got, I have the same question for you. So in the area, let's talk about just restaurant wise.
Okay.
Bar Louie's Ranch is phenomenal.
Okay.
Like it's the new one. I like because they used to have a little bit watered down, but they do like some seasoning in it. So yeah, I mean, I have to go with them and then Hacienda, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, just the pure volume you can get from Hacienda. It's like you start to like you have so much ranch, you just feel like your blood kind of stop moving a little bit.
It's thick too.
Yeah. It is amazing.
Yeah, it's real good.
In the store, man, I've always been a Hidden Valley guy, but recently people turned me on to the Ken's Ranch. Okay, but then the buttermilk.
The buttermilk one is good.
It's like that dipping where like you dip something and you just gotta wait like a minute, like not that it's running, it's just like so much. Just got like a lot of just texture to it. So that's mine. What's yours?
Okay. Mine is definitely from restaurants. I don't eat ranch in restaurants that often, so it's Hacienda. But from the store, I used to be Hidden Valley, and then we got a Trader Joe's, and they make a vegan version of ranch that has dill in it and something else, and I love that. So that's my favorite at the moment.
I'm just going to take that note now.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's Ranch. I feel like I probably would weigh 100 pounds if I didn't have ranch. I go through so much ranch.
Yeah, so does my husband.
It's just good. And it's just my brother, he's from here, but he moved to California. Now he lives in Texas. And then we got to this, a restaurant. And here in the Midwest, we go to this restaurant and the guy was wearing can I get ranch with that? Something Midwestern say. And I was like, well, you're in the Midwest. And then I was like, by the way, can I get ranch though? Is that a thing? Yeah. So my brother's like, everybody, he doesn't like ranch. Like he's like, everybody, literally a Midwest thing. Like it's not a big thing anywhere else.
Chicken nuggets, put on everything. I worked at Bar Louie for a little while. And yeah, people would dip everything in ranch. Their burger, they put it on their burger. All kinds of stuff.
I could see that, yeah. So the air fryer, I've had air fryer for a while. I'm 100% like bachelor. I don't like to do stuff. Like I'm just like, no, like give me some. Just,
make it easy.
Yeah, crock pot, like a bunch of chicken breasts and just whatever, dip, So I got the air fryer. And everybody's like, oh, you got to check this ingredient, this. So sweet potato fries, I murder. I love sweet potatoes, like anything.
Yeah, same.
I used to be huge, like I love sweet potato fries in ranch. Like it was a weird thing. People are like, that's kind of weird, two different things.
That's interesting, but yeah.
I mean, some people like the honey or the or the caramel, whatever. That stuff's weird. Ketchup. I've never used the sweet potatoes and ketchup. It kind of blew me away. It was a moving experience for me.
That's what I've always used. All
right, so do want to do a little couple different things. I'd like to do a little games. We have a couple things. Okay, so we have some games. Okay. We have some questions. And we have some would you rather, some fun would you rathers. Okay. So first of all, we're gonna start with the 2 truths and a lie. Okay. So, I will have you go ahead and start. So basically, just tell all 3, and I have to guess which one is the truth.
Okay. Okay, so 1, I've never lived anywhere but South Bend. 2, Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time. And 3, my go-to Hacienda drink is an Ariba margarita.
I feel like you've hated on Shawn Michaels before. I feel like, yeah. So I'm going to say that's a lie. I feel like you've lived somewhere else other than South Bend. So I think that's a lie. And the truth is the margarita?
I thought it was only supposed to be 1 lie.
Oh, 2 truths and a lie. Sorry. Yeah. I did it backwards. Oh, so there is. Okay. So, then yeah, you have lived here. Okay. The Shawn Michaels is fake then.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
gotcha,
right.
Yeah.
You got it.
My brain went 2 lies and a truth.
I wasn't sure how much you knew. You know your stuff. Okay.
All right. So mine. Let me make sure I did this right.
Yeah. Make sure 2 of them are true, and 1 is
Yeah. I did. Okay. I did that right. I'm like, wait a minute. No, think about it. Okay. So, I faked having autism to get out of being arrested on a train. I kicked a 50-yard goal in soccer in high school. I made $20 selling the free popcorn at the Linebacker Lounge bar.
The kicking the 50 goal, the soccer one.
I think that's the fake one?
I think that's the fake one.
Okay. She's assume faking having autism.
I mean,
that was after I did that. It was after Cubs game.
See?
We come back on the train and like they had already separated. I don't do well when I get to that point where
It's okay.
you drink
There's
too much.
zero judgment.
Literally,
It's fine.
The cops are like waiting for us. Me and two other buddies. My one buddy opens the door. He just takes off running into the airport, just gone. My other buddy just walks up to the cop, and I just started. I was like, I just got to take medicine, sir. I don't know. I don't even know what I was doing, but cop's like, go home and take your medicine. Get out of here.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I can't get
you
arrested.
Didn't know what to do.
All right. Would you rather? Okay, actually, this is actually a fun one. Would you rather have more time or more money?
Oh. More. God, I want to say more money. I think I want to say more money. I can make time if I have money.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
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 I think, in the end of the, like right now I have a lot of free time. So I guess I like working a full-time job and that. I'd probably say more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems easy enough. All right. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
Rewind. Yeah.
Why?
Because it would just be cool to go back and revisit certain things. And I guess if you don't need a pause button if you can rewind, because you can just come right back to where you were before. Kind of same deal.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I go with pause sometimes. It'd be just fun, just pause. So you're sort of just like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Slow
I'm gonna take a
down.
nap.
That's
I'm gonna come
true.
back. I like that would
true.
be kind of cool.
Prolong everything a little bit.
Oh, yeah. All right. Would you rather have everyone you know, not stranger, everyone you know, be able to read your mind, or everyone you know have access to all of your internet history, even if you've cleared it, computer, phone, everything?
My internet history.
Yeah.
I would much rather them have my.
I'd rather see the stuff. Yeah. Hey, that's the dirty stuff that I did,
That's
rather
fine.
than like what might just randomly pop into your head or something.
Be
like, are you thinking of
stuff happens?
Yeah. Are you thinking about having diarrhea right now? What? How do you not? Maybe
No.
you just get them run.
That's too much.
Would you rather be forced to live in the same day over and over again for a full year, or take 3 years off the end of your life?
Oh. 3 years off the end of my life.
Yeah, because that's just a year.
The same thing.
It's a whole year every day.
A whole year every day. I mean, depending on, you never know what your end is going to be, but 3 years.
If somebody, would you want to know when you died? Somebody could tell you?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
If you just finally go, yeah, tomorrow. Fuck. Never mind.
No, I don't want to know.
I regret that decision.
That would be terrible.
All right. So, I don't know if you saw this on TikTok. This is just a fun game I like to play. I played this with the last guest. So, okay. All right. So basically, you have to come up with the same word. Like basically, it's like 1, 2, 3. We both just say a word, and then like let's say you said sandwich. I said something else. We got to keep saying words until we figure out what word. Like it's very strange. It was hilarious. These two dudes I followed do it. Basically, it's like we'll just do a demo. So just say 1, 2, 3. Just say any word.
Okay.
All right. So 1, 2, 3. Bike. Alpaca and bikes. Now we have to somehow think of what word we can get to.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, alpaca, bike. So I would probably go. We keep saying words until we both guess the same word.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's very difficult and very fun.
Okay.
I think it took me I think it took about 25 minutes last time to figure it out.
Jesus. Okay. Let's redo. Okay.
Let's start it off. I always get stuck on weird meat. All right. I don't know why I said a ham.
Okay, so we're just starting fresh?
Yep, starting fresh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, tree.
Mustard.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, salad.
Pineapple.
1, 2, 3, fruit. 1, 2, 3,
broccoli.
Cottage cheese. I don't know where. I guess cottage cheese is really rich. Okay. 1, 2, 3, potato salad. Would you say scissors?
Sausage.
Oh. We're at I think it sounds like we're at a picnic.
Yeah.
Sausage, potato salad. Okay. 1, 2, 3, picnic table. Jello. 1, 2, 3, pudding.
Fruit cup.
Damn it.
We're close.
Oh, shit. All right, we're going to start again. We lost that round. Okay, we're going to start this thing again. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
I keep going to food.
Yeah, I did exactly where I go every time. It's, but it helps sometimes. All right. 1, 2, 3, wine.
Sandwich.
Okay, sandwich and wine. 1, 2, 3, picnic.
Italian.
1, 2, 3, spaghetti. Yes, you say spaghetti? You gotta say a little bit. All right, that counts. That wasn't too bad. All right, I feel like we did better that time. All right, we're just one more time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, book.
Ice cream.
Okay, ice cream book. 1, 2, 3,
Party.
Dairy Queen. 1, 2, 3, birthday.
Ice cream party.
Oh, we're. I mean, it's kind of the same.
It's kind of the same thing. My brain does not work good under pressure.
I feel like that was a wash. I feel like that was kind of in there.
It was close.
Yeah. All right, so a couple of things. I do want to dive into a few things. So
Okay.
I do have this category, okay, and it actually happened to me earlier. Category called grinds my gears.
Okay.
So what are some things that annoy you, that just in just life in general, that just grinds your gears?
It can be really trivial.
It can be whatever. Trivial. The more trivial, the better.
Okay. When people say Chipotle, that's a big one. Chipotle, and they say Chipotle. No, espresso and espresso. No, those are two of my biggest absolute pet peeves. Everything else I feel like is work related. I hate when I'm gonna get in trouble. I hate when someone sits down and they look at me like, my hair just doesn't have a style. My hair's so thin. Like when people sit in my chair and just start berating themselves, it's the most draining thing. I don't like it. That's a peeve of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? You just say shut up and.
I mean, I don't tell them to shut up.
Oh.
I will tell them though, we don't do negative self-talk here. Like I don't allow that. Like we were just dealt the cards we have. Let's move in a direction with what we can work with. Like no woman is ever happy with their hair, but the Chipotle thing is probably one of my biggest issues.
I would just say Chipotle just because I think it's funny, but then I forget how much I say it, and then I just say it in regular life, and people are like, "Oh, he's dumb." I do that with a jalapeno, watermelon.
Oh yeah,
I love a good
jalapeno.
watermelon. That's just
You
hilarious.
say jalapeno a lot. Tarjay, things like that. Yeah.
It's all the regular stuff. It's it's definitely an Indiana thing.
Well, and when it's intentional, that's fine. But when you're dead ass, Chipotle, no.
That's like the route or route. Is it GIF or GIF? If I send you an animated thing, is it a GIF or a GIF?
GIF.
It's a GIF.
It's a GIF.
Yeah.
GIF.
Yeah, but I guess it's pronounced.
GIF is peanut butter.
Exactly, that's the debate. And nobody actually answered yet. That was the debate on my last episode. I was like, at first I was like, Jif? I didn't even know Jif was a peanut butter. I thought it was Jiffy. Yeah. Oh, my grinds my gears though. This recently happening. It drives me insane. I'll be sitting here, laying on the couch, nice summer day, and it's people that have motorcycles. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. Motorcycle's cool and everything. It's when you pull up to a stop sign and you have to continually rev it, like aggressively.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, I have a motorcycle and I'm coming to a complete stop and starting again.
Yep.
I guarantee by the time this podcast will be over, you'll hear it at least once. Like I don't mind if you drive, it's loud, whatever. But when you pull up, you're like, it's like I just want to go over there. Is something wrong with it? Is something wrong with your motorcycle?
No, just to go loud. You must hear.
Yeah, it's bananas. I do want to talk to you about. I saw you kind of post this. So a long time ago, the XFL was going to come out. Vince McMahon was running this thing.
Okay, yeah.
But they had to stop that because he kind of got in a little bit of trouble. What happened recently? Is it the same thing or?
No. I didn't think they stopped the first time because he got into trouble.
It was the tanning bed thing or something.
Oh,
because somebody else. Because it was a 30 for 30 on ESPN.
Oh, that I'm not aware.
I mean, he might
of.
have just had to step down, whatever. But I didn't even know it. I mean,
okay.
So what's the newest stuff with him?
New stuff is basically the Wall Street Journal posted a whole investigation about it where Vince McMahon paid off a woman like a $3 million payoff for her not to say anything about a relationship he had with her and with another staff member, John Laurinaitis. And so he stepped down as CEO until the investigation is over. But if anyone knows anything about Vince McMahon, he's losing his damn mind. So he showed up at SmackDown Friday, and he showed up. I'm pretty sure he was at Raw last night, and he thinks he's untouchable, and he's a billionaire, and he's just gonna do what he does. But his daughter's running the company right now, despite all of the allegations. We'll see if anything becomes of it or not. But he's a crazy old man. He's gonna be around no matter what.
Yeah. I like the interview with him on the Pat McAfee show. That was crazy. I've never seen him do an interview ever.
No.
And then when he was on there, it was like, because he doesn't go on TV and he doesn't do interviews.
That was the most lively one he's ever done. But I think Pat brings that out of people. Normally, Vince is just being interviewed in docuseries, documentaries, and things like that about the business. This was a little more Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah. So, hey, listen. Our powers combined. We need to get a hold of Pat McAfee, okay? I'm telling you. I'm trying to try to, like, I don't know, even how to ask. Like, I've looked everywhere. There's, like, nowhere. Because you could try to tag him on social media or whatever.
There's a couple of my friends on TikTok. Their names, Heel Kevin 1 and Love Panda. And they both caught Pat's attention by making videos, basically tagging him, and Pat shouted them out on the show twice. Cool. But then they spun it and they were trying to get hired by him. They wanted to be his booker because I guess Pat was looking for a booker at one point. I'm sure he's hired the position already, but they were tagging him and tagging him and tagging him on Twitter, trying to get his attention. And I know he's seeing it, but he's playing hard to get. So I don't know how you get Pat's attention. Not sure. I wish I could.
Man, he's just the most hilarious dude. Like, he's honestly, so I mean, like, I've always, even when he freaking got arrested for swimming in the, and then when he, like, when he was playing, he was so much fun to watch. Because, like, I was always raised Bears, then Colts. That was my dad. He goes, we watch the Bears and Colts. So, and man, his career is hilarious. I assume are you Colts?
I'm Lions.
Okay, well, we don't. Thanks for joining us today on that. So how did that accidentally happen, and how do you regret that?
That was me being rebellious because my dad was a Bears fan, and we live so close to Michigan. And it was just fun hearing people be like, you're a Lions fan. I get a kick out of that. I did the same thing with being a Notre Dame fan. Like, I always picked Purdue because it was just fun for people around here to be like, oh, you like Purdue? And then it just snowballed because I actually had interaction with the Detroit Lions on TikTok.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I went up there and I met the person that runs their social media account and went to a game and everything. So now I'm a Lions fan. Like,
that's awesome.
I can't retract now. Even if
so it was out of just pure rebellious then?
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
And then it just snowballed, and now I'm now I actually care.
Now I actually follow. And
now I care.
I mean, I guess it's better being a Browns fan. That's like the worst thing in the world.
That would be terrible.
So, you talked about fitness, and I find that if I don't exercise and don't get sun, I just turn into, I get so sad and just down and everything. So how'd you get started with, like that? Because you like Olympic lifting.
I do.
Yeah.
Olympic
so lifting. It's not like you're a girl that just goes there to take pictures. Like you throw up some weight. So what got you into that, and how does that help you and affect your life?
I started CrossFit in 2017. Funny enough, I started CrossFit because of wrestling, just because you know that you hit that point at 25 where, at least I did, where your metabolism slows down and you can't just eat whatever you want anymore. And all of a sudden, like, here's 30 pounds and you're like, oh, shoot, like, this is not good. And I just didn't feel good. I have asthma. The more weight I carry, the harder it is for me to breathe. So I started CrossFit. And the problem with if you like CrossFit, please don't hate me. The problem with CrossFit is that you're in a big group class and people aren't necessarily paying the best attention to what you're doing. And I was a complete beginner trying to do Olympic lifting. And it's not just Olympic lifting. It's like, do 50 clean and jerks and 25 burpees as many times as you can in 20 minutes. And I was hurting myself. I tore both of my quads. Like, I was injuring my ankles. I was really beating myself up, and no coach was ever like, hey, maybe you should try this. Like, I just kept hurting myself. So I got injured in 2019. And I just was like, okay, I'm done. And I stopped working out. And then in March of 2020, the shutdown happened. And I actually took a video of myself cutting my husband's hair. And I saw myself in the video. And I was like, this is not where I want to be. And I basically just lost my job. And I need to do something because I'm not going to be happy with myself if I let this continue. So in the thick of the COVID shutdown in March, I tried to find gym equipment and build a gym in my garage, which did not go well because everyone was trying to do the same thing.
And $2 a pound is ridiculous.
And I didn't have anything. So I just did body weight movements. I joined a couple programs a few months in and just did it that way. Cleaned up my diet. And yeah, I just kind of fell in love with it and was able to stay consistent with it. But I wasn't progressing in how much I could lift. And the lifting part is what I really, really love and wanted to get better at. So I sought help. It's actually a friend of mine that used to coach at one of the CrossFit gyms I went to. And he reached out and said, hey, I'm going to this gym. Would you be interested in coming and checking it out? And so I did. East Race Muscle. And so I go there now, and I started training seriously and got a coach in November of last year. And it is hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And I don't even feel like I'm surrounded by, they're so badass. Like the girls that are there are just so amazing. Like my coach, they can lift like 200 pounds, no problem, like overhead. And here I am with my little bing, 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 baby weights. And I feel like the baby, I am the baby, but I don't care. I still love it. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you have a certain routine you put together or what?
My coach programs my workouts. So she does a 4-week cycle. So for 4 weeks, I'm doing the same thing in just 4 days a week in just a different rep scheme. And I'm trying to, lift up. I'm trying to get better at my technique and things like that because it's trash. It's getting better, but it's trash. Trying to be able to lift more. I have a deload week where I do lightweight and then you bump back up to lifting super heavy. And yeah, just trying to undo bad habits, make sure I'm not getting hurt, and I haven't, which is great.
Nice.
And my first competition is the beginning of August.
Okay, so you do compete then?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Is this your first time doing it?
It's my first time doing it.
Good luck.
Terrified.
So is there like a strict, because obviously that's probably a little bit more like strict like routine and things like prep for it. I mean, you have to change your diet and that before?
I should, but I should. I made it really clear with my coach that I wasn't interested in doing, because people get mistake all the time for my competition being like, what is it, like the bikini competitions? I'm not doing that. I'm going to lift heavy weights. I don't care what I look like. So I don't want to have to really starve myself to be in a certain weight class in order to lift. I just don't want to do that. Like that's not good for me. So yeah,
So is there something different? Isn't there like a physique competition?
Those are
and then there's the strength.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
So like an Olympic lifting competition is literally you declare a total of how much you can lift. You go out on the platform, you get 3 attempts to lift a certain amount, and it's a clean and jerk and a snatch. And that's what you do. And yeah, and you just compete in your weight class. So you weigh in the morning, and I'm just going to fall where I'm going to fall. And I'm either going to be the lightest in my weight class or I'm going to be the heaviest. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the lightest in the heavier category. So everyone's going to be a lot stronger than me, but that's okay. I'm just doing it to see if I like it. And if it's too scary, I'm not going to continue to do it. But I like to do things that scare me. I've made a point of that in like my 20s. I'm just about to get out of my 20s. But I wanted to really start doing things that scare me. I didn't want to be like, oh, I have too much anxiety and I'm afraid to try something new. Like, no, I live on that. Like, I live on the adrenaline for that. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So do you get anxiety from anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I do. But it's been like, I never liked taking, I've been on medication for it. I don't like it. I'm not severe enough to the point where it anymore. It doesn't affect my everyday life. So I'm able to just deal with it. Yeah.
Is there something you do when you not like an anxiety attack, like whatever the panic attack, anxiety attack? Is there something you like walk yourself? If you get that way, is there something you do that calms you down or anything like that?
Yeah. I will play The Sims. I will take a nap. I'll go for a run. I'll go out to my garage and lift. I'll call a friend. Like just things like that. Yeah. Usually call a friend because it's usually in the midst of something. Like if I'm at work and something's freaking me out, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Talk me out of this real quick. But
that's kind of
it's
cool.
a lot more manageable now.
That is cool. Yeah, that's one of the things that I always kind of bring up. It's like it's so weird when you have like, I kind of call it like a brain cramp. Yeah. You ever have, because if you were, you ever get like a leg cramp, like whatever body cramp, like it doesn't matter what's happening, like, whatever, you'll throw somebody off you, whatever you're doing, to stop it. I kind of feel like that's what like an anxiety attack, where it's like your brain's cramped and like you can't fix it, like nothing matters. You're just like, oh shit, everything's weird.
My poor husband having to deal with it, like when it was really bad, because we work opposite schedules. So he's a truck driver, so he'd be driving in the middle of the night, and I'd call him and I'd be like, I think one time I was panicked because I thought we moved into our house and we turned on like the heat for the first time, and I was afraid I was going to have carbon monoxide poisoning, and I was having a panic attack, and I was like, my chest is caving in. Like I'm so scared. Do I call the fire department? And he's like, you wouldn't know, but you're okay. I'm like, you don't know if I'm okay. Like, it's the worst.
It's just it's a weird thing to be in. I think it's a lot of times people don't really talk a lot about it, like especially when like people like going through it or they're having it, and they're just like, especially after I think COVID kind of made it, because I'm an extroverted person all the way. Like I'm totally extroverted.
All the time.
You know, yeah, all the time. Like I'll talk, you know, I'll talk to people, talk in front of groups, whatever else.
Yeah.
But it was weird after COVID. It was like, you know, because I spent a lot of time. Like I still worked through it. I work in cell phones. We were a repair center, so we had to fix people's stuff. So we were open the whole time, but it was still like dead. And then it's like the more people, like it's weird. It's like everybody kind of just went away for a couple years. They came back, and everybody's just kind of like scared kids in school. Like, hey, what's your name? And I kind of got to that point too. I was like, man, I wasn't excited to see like a bunch of people anymore. And it was really weird because that's totally not me. So like, it was like my brain just like broke. I was like, oh shit, this is weird. I don't want to leave the house. Like,
with where I worked, I worked at a different salon. It was one of the biggest salons in the area. And when we opened back up, we were closed from the beginning of March to mid-May. And when we opened back up, Indiana was open before Illinois and Michigan. So we had 2 months of appointments to reschedule because we were closed. And then we had an influx of people coming from Michigan and Illinois trying to get appointments. And at the time, everything was so strict. Being in a beauty salon setting, you had to wear masks, you had to do this. Like sanitation was super, you know, difficult. And if you weren't on top of it, we had a couple people called the health department. Like you really had to be on top of it. And we would get people coming in and being so mean. And and it's like, I understand your frustration, but we are just trying to do our jobs. And it made us all, I mean, there's so many of us that stopped doing hair just in general because it got so nerved up. If you saw a new name in your book, you're like, I hope they're going to wear their mask and I'm not going to have to tell them to do it. Like, please just, you know, we had a guy come in that he was super irate and he came in to buy product and you couldn't be in the salon without a mask on. And he got really pissed, went out to his car, got a McDonald's napkin, ripped holes in the sides of the McDonald's napkin and put it on his face. And I will give everyone in that salon, the women in that salon ate him alive.
Oh my God.
Oh, they fucking ruined him. It was great. But that was really hard for a lot of people, beauty professionals in general. There were so many of us that stopped doing it. Like I was looking for a career change. I was like, okay, I'm going to go work at Lippert. Like, can I go work at Lippert with everybody? Like, I don't know what to do. I can't do this anymore. I want to work at home and not be with people. And I'm glad I didn't, but that was such a crazy time. Yeah. I hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. Especially when like, I didn't know I don't know, hair place could open up that fast. I thought it was longer than 2 months.
Nope, it was 2 months and they just threw us to the wolves. But at the same time, you know, there's so many different people in the beauty industry. I was lucky enough, I worked at a commission salon, so I collected unemployment. There are people that own their own booths and work for themselves, and when you do that, you're not able to collect unemployment. So outside of the stimulus, those people didn't collect a paycheck for 2 months. So it was good that we opened up when we did, but everyone had lost their damn mind at that point and forgot that we were people, and it was a lot. And they still do. It's fine. It's why?
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Why? Like, it's such wasted energy. I don't have time for that. Oh,
there was only one customer I kind of, it's one of the frustrating moments. He walked in, every time he'd walk in without a mask. I'm like, dude, you got to wear a mask.
Yeah, we're required. Like we don't have any say in it. We're not making the rules. Like just do it. Or people in our environment too. They just wanted to talk about really controversial things, and we can't. And then that's like a hairdresser 101 before any of this even happened. Like there are like 3 things you don't talk about. You just don't talk about, you know, politics. You don't talk about religion and anything that's literally anything controversial. Do not talk about it in my chair. But man, they just wanted to. And so you've got 2 people sitting next to each other that think completely opposite, and they're just each talking to their respective hairstylists. And we got like they got into arguments sometimes, and we're like, can we not? I've had to cut it off many times.
That's the craziest. It's literally like the craziest 2 years. Like to think like, you know, because there's kids that like graduated at the end of COVID. And there's kids like little kids, like, you know, my brother's daughter, she would have been, you know, I mean, like 6, 7 around when COVID kind of hit. Like just, it's normal to them, but such a weird, and it's just like, oh man, I couldn't imagine, man. If I was like just like online classes, I would have loved that. I would have been suspended a lot less.
I probably would have with college, I probably would have graduated college if I could do that. Going to class was not my thing.
Yeah, I had a thing. I don't know if did you go to IUSB?
I did.
Okay, so 8 a.m. Hey, take your 8 a.m. class. I had like 8 until like noon, right? My 2 classes on Monday, Wednesday, same on Tuesday, Thursday.
Yep.
And then I'd work full time at like, I think at the time it was Circuit City and then Best Buy. I'd get there and I mean, hungover, of course, you know, always party, but then I'd get there. It would be like I'd try to get there early, but, and then no parking ever. Like, I'd be like, I'm so mad.
Dude, parking was so bad.
I would go home. I told the
would just
teacher,
give up?
I told teacher, I was like, hey man, no, you're not going to grade me on attendance. I cannot find a place to park.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you can park right. I'm not parking 4 miles away. Like, that's just
and
I live 5 miles.
You'd be like along the river, like way somewhere else. I think I parked in the apartments parking lot one time and walked over, and I lived at home. I hated it.
Yeah, I just remember a teacher going, well, I grade on attendance. I'm like, well, I'm paying you, so I say no. I don't think that's going to happen. I was like, sidebar, yeah, that's not going to work because sometimes I get called in. If I do the if I do the
Did you
work.
have to pay for parking?
I think it was all part of your thing.
You had to pay.
Yeah,
you had
you
a
get
tag,
your little,
but you couldn't find anywhere to park.
I'm like, this is bullshit. Oh yeah, you got to get here at 7. My class starts at 8:50. I'm not,
It's ridiculous.
like drunk until like 5. Mm-hmm. So what's your guilty pleasure food? Like if you're like, maybe a cheat day or whatever else, what's your go-to?
Pizza.
Okay.
Always pizza.
Elaborate. What do you want on it? Where's it from?
Depends on what we're feeling. We like pizza. Lately, we really like, every Monday, actually, we go to the Lobber. That's one of our favorites right now.
Yeah.
So I prefer a veggie pizza. So I'll put sausage on it, but I'll do green peppers, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms, black olives. I like all that. My husband is strictly just like meat. So the other half of the pizza will just have sausage, pepperoni, bacon, ham. The meat lovers.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of Lobber, Chivo's Pizza is one of my favorites.
I've not heard of that one. Where's that one
Chivo's
at?
is up on Cleveland by the bypass. It used to be a Bruno's. They were in St. Joe, Michigan, I think. Their location burned down and then they moved down here. Chivo's is great. Where else? Lacapo's. Lacapo's is on the west side. It's over off of Lincoln Way. That's also really good. They make a gigantic pizza and it's not overdone. Their sauce is a little bit sweeter. It's really good. Where else? Barnaby's.
Yeah, Barnaby's is good.
Barnaby's on Jefferson.
Yeah,
we go there a lot.
That's a dining experience for sure.
Yeah, it's different.
I hate having Barnaby's anywhere outside of the restaurant. Like
Really?
It was. I mean, I'll still do it obviously, but I love that restaurant. It's just like it's dark and I guess it's always dark and cold,
medieval, and you get to sit next to people you don't know. With
Yeah,
no barrier. They're just right there. You're like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, it's like a weird line and queue system to get your
Yeah,
food.
right.
It's an experience for sure.
I can't think of anywhere. Those are like the top ones that we'll usually get.
No Barnaby's?
Well, I said Barnaby's.
Or, I mean,
Bruno's?
Bruno's, yeah, Bruno's.
I like Bruno's. I went to an elementary school that the Bruno's family went to. And so, like, once a week we had Bruno's pizza, or at least once a month, and I got burnt out on Bruno's pizza. So every once in a while, it's fine. But there just was a time in, like, the mid-2000s, I feel like everyone got Bruno's every day, and I just got burnt out on it. So
What elementary school?
Elementary school?
Which one?
I went to St. Mary of the Assumption, which got closed down like 2005, and then I went to St. Jude. I went to Catholic school my whole life. Yeah.
Why, you used to roll your eyes like you were sad about it, or?
It was fine.
It was fine. Everything's fine.
It was fine. It's small. So Marion was really small. I didn't play sports or anything like that. I was just a theater kid and kept to myself and had a small group of friends and didn't really do anything. I didn't even want to go to prom. I didn't want to go to dances. I didn't want to do nothing. I just worked and went home. But I don't think I missed out on anything. My husband went to Washington, so it's funny to trade, stories of what happened. The biggest, story that happened at my school was someone stole the baby Jesus statue, and he's got people having fist fights in the hallway and in the cafeteria every day. So it's definitely different. We had mass once a month, and they had lockdown, so it's different.
Oh yeah, I went to Adams. It was Adams and Washington. We're both very similar in that.
Yeah.
All right, guilty pleasure movie.
Ooh. The first one that comes to mind is it really guilty pleasure? School of Rock.
So when I think of guilty pleasure, I think of like something that, like it's just like my go-to. I mean, I guess I talk about everything, but like maybe you don't want to like just advertise you watch. It's like a secret. Like I guess kind of guilty pleasure, like one that you go to, but like I just got to watch this.
13 Going on 30. It's a classic. Do you know what that is?
Is that Zac Efron, right?
No,
or
that's
one?
Jennifer Garner.
Oh yeah. Was it a similar thing though, right? And they swapped.
Yes, similar thing. She wished that she was 30, like in the 80s, and then she wakes up one day and she's 30. And
yeah, I did. I think I did see that one.
It's fun. Yeah, I love that one.
What about song?
Limp Bizkit. Oh, I love Limp Bizkit. I love it so much.
Which song? Is there one go-to?
Oh, Rollin'.
No.
Rollin' is a good one. That's pretty much the biggest one. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then. Okay, so you're on a desert
Break
island.
stuff.
Oh, that's a good one too. I used to remember when I first started working out, I was like, yeah, let's listen to
great.
this. This is going to really get me going. So desert island, you're on a desert island for an entire year, okay? You're allowed to bring one CD, compact disc, if you will.
Okay.
One movie.
Okay.
And one food that you can eat.
Okay.
So, you know, like maybe a type or whatever else.
Okay.
So 1 year, what do you got?
My one CD. Do now CDs count? Because I would pick Now 9.
So you just knew that right off the bat? You just knew Now 9?
Yeah, Now 9.
Which one? What does that one have on it?
It has, I'm pretty sure the first one is Pink. And then there's some Usher on there. There's some Britney. There's
You're talking like an early 2000 type?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had it. The cover is, I'm pretty sure, pink and blue.
Wow.
It's a variety.
Yeah,
right?
I remember all the nows. Yeah, I mean, I think like a Now 56 or something.
Oh, they're way up there. I'm pretty, they might be in the 90s. But yeah, Now 9. What was it? A movie?
Mm-hmm.
School of Rock. 1000% School of Rock. Jack Black. It's my favorite. And then food, pizza.
Nice. Yeah, pizza's the go-to, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I'd say movie-wise, I think I have to go Dumb and Dumber because I love to rewatch Dumb and Dumber like all the time, like just every time I can. My guilty pleasure is Hook. I love the movie Hook. With Robin, for some reason, it makes me just go back to being a kid. It's like nostalgic. I'm like, yes, Roofy. Oh, like I get so excited. I was like, I guess not really guilty pleasure. I tell her, I usually, film myself while I watch it.
Yeah.
But see, I think I don't know. So now that I'm lactose, it sucks because I want to eat pizza. So I have to go like thin crust. It's not that bad. I just have to like, know that I'm going to be, not really. Yeah. It'll be a couple days till things work its way out. So
for sure.
Because that's why I used to love Barnaby's, Bruno's, because they had the thickest. But then my body just stopped allowing me to.
They do. They have
function.
A shitload of cheese on them.
Yeah, that mozzarella, man. So I got a fun question for you. What is something that's true that nobody agrees with you on?
Something that's true that nobody agrees with me on.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I want to go right to wrestling? It's like
Go to it.
It's my one hot take. It's my one hot take.
Go to it and explain it and why.
Shawn Michaels isn't the greatest wrestler of all time.
Who says he is, though?
Every male between the age of 28 and 40.
I feel like Shawn Michaels maybe.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like I do get it, but at the same time, I don't. He was great in the ring, cool, but he never necessarily cut any promos that were just like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. I feel like The Rock had him beat, Stone Cold had him beat, even Dusty Rhodes had him beat. There's so many other John Cena. There's so many other people that are better talkers than him, but they just are up Shawn Michaels' ass for some reason because I don't know, because he was the epitome of what every little boy wanted to be. He just thought he was amazing and women loved him and he just was so cool.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, I just feel like he even had a weak finisher. The Sweet Chin music, it was kind of.
Another really hot take. People will come at me and be like, Shawn Michaels is the great. Have you seen his matches with Undertaker? Have you seen his 2 matches with Undertaker, WrestleMania 25 and 29? Yes, I have. Okay.
Yeah,
if you were there in real time, I'm sure it was really great, but it didn't really do a whole lot for me.
Did you watch Undertaker and Mankind? Anything they ever did?
Oh
that
my
was
God, hell no.
like I'm like you can't. Yeah, you can't even like fathom. Well, okay, so I got who's your top 5 wrestlers then? Who do you got?
Top 5 is number 1 is Stone Cold. Number 2 is Chris Jericho. Number 3 is Matt Hardy. Number 4 is Mick Foley, Mankind. And number 5 is, who was my 5? I feel like it was The Rock. Yeah.
Nice. See, I think
commonly asked question, so I have to.
Yeah. No, see, I think, and again, like I really haven't watched anything wrestling. I think John Cena was kind of like, big when I was watching. Like he just kind of started getting there.
Yeah.
But I mean, definitely Stone Cold. Stone Cold I got to see him at Notre Dame.
Did you really?
Oh, fun story. So me and my dad, this was, I don't know, so long ago, 1999, 2000, 98, somewhere in that range. Okay. I was like, as young, maybe it was in high school, whatever. So maybe 8th grade, I don't know. So like they were doing this raffle, right? And like all the tickets started at 1,000. So 1,001, you got first pick of whatever ticket you wanted. So me and my dad there, and I'm still a hustler, so I'm running around like, hey, what number do you have? Hey, what number do you have? And some people couldn't figure it out. It's like, oh, I'm 1,050. I'm like, well, hey, you're actually 50. So we're just going around, and I'm trying to find. So I found this cat that had like 125th, and I was like, hey, man, give me a sec. Can we buy tickets with you? So we're waiting. This lady comes up. She goes, I don't know how to do this. What am I? She was 1,001.
Oh, my God.
I go, ma'am, I have to ask you something. Can you please buy us tickets too? She's like, why? I go, you have first. She's like, oh my God. So like I'm at ringside and like seeing Stone Cold. Like at the time I had like my big ass camera. I was like photography class. It was awesome. It was crazy. I mean, there was a rumor that The Rock was going to come.
Yeah.
He didn't, but it was still so badass. It was like, it was crazy.
Oh, I love that.
I think, what's the name? Maybe one of the Matt, one of the Hardy cats.
It was Matt and Jeff.
So, I think it was Matt. He was, I don't know if they were single wrestlers at the time or whatever, but he like walked, like he got slammed into the gate, like right in front of me. I'm like, oh shit, hit him.
That's awesome.
It was bananas. So Stone Cold for sure. He was all, I remember I had a pager. Okay.
Oh God.
Like, yeah. I'm like old school pager. I was like 11 maybe, I had a Mountain Dew pager. you drink enough Mountain Dews and you get a pager.
Yeah.
But Dad's
I had a
like,
bubblegum one, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, but Dad's like, you're going to have to pay for that. It's like, oh yeah, I will. I stopped. But I remember I like timed out. I had like the intro for I had Stone Cold, The Rock, and then Degeneration X. All, and it fit right into the thing. And I was just like, had people page me for no reason. Like, yeah, get in there, page that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's me. So yeah, so Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Mankind, Cactus Jack, all of them. Dude Love, I guess, all together. Oh, you know what? Just out of pure entertainment, Val Venus.
I'm so glad you said that.
I'm
so glad you said that. I get shit for that all the time because I was born in 92. So when Val Venus was really popular, it was like 98, 99. I was a child. But I remember my dad, my dad is what got me into wrestling. And he thought, him and The Godfather, my dad thought they were so fucking hilarious. And so Val Venus was just, I thought he was so cool. I thought he was so cool. And so when I say that to people, they're like, Val Venus?
It was so funny. Like, I thought about having the intro, but I realized how graphic it was. When you came, I was like, I got the Val Venus going. Like, so I was just yesterday just sitting here watching just all Val Venus's intros.
And the character development, too. I don't know if you remember the faction Right to Censor. So Right to Censor started happening, and all of the most risque, raunchy characters like Val Venus and The Godfather ended up in this faction where they all wore white shirts and slacks, and they were fighting against all of the stuff that was happening like post Attitude Era. So women in bikinis and wet t-shirt contests and stuff like that. And from two of the raunchiest ones to go and do that. So
you mentioned, as I saw on your show, you're on your TikTok, Attitude Era. So what does that mean?
The Attitude Era? Attitude Era was late 90s, a little bit post, like right when Stone Cold really started blowing up. So the real risque things that started happening, just the Attitude Era, like the cussing, the weird storylines, all of that.
Stone Cold with a Coors Light truck.
Yeah, beer trucks, all that kind of stuff.
That was pretty crazy. So what's your favorite overall wrestling moment that you watched or experienced?
WrestleMania. It's between WrestleMania 17 and 19, and it's the Stone Cold Rock. And now, at the time, I didn't appreciate it, but now WrestleMania 19, just because that was Stone Cold's at the last match. He did come back this last WrestleMania after 19 years, but that was his last match and nobody knew.
Wait, was that the one with Shawn Michaels?
No.
I thought his last one was when I thought he broke his neck, or that was his last one. No, he came back.
His last one was against The Rock. He broke his neck with Owen Hart.
That's right.
And that's when it declined, and then he retired a few years later.
Man, I was watching live that Owen Hart where they shut the lights off, like, because he was the blue
blazer.
Yeah, and
and
my buddy calls me. He's like, "Hey, I go, yeah, what just happened?" Like, he came down. Like, so people that were there, he was coming down and he just fell on the back of his neck, right on the turnbuckle, and they go, everybody knew he was just dead.
Yep, the cable went undone.
Yep. Wow, that was, and I remember it was so crazy because it's funny, in my dad's basement I have all these old wrestling tapes. Like, I was recorded,
really?
All the time.
Oh, I love that.
And so I'm still excited. Actually, I used to have like the wrestling magazines. Like, I was smart enough and I stored them away, so I don't even want to look at them yet. I'm like, I was definitely very nerdy, if you will. I'm just short, fat, and loved wrestling and snacks. So I was in there. But man, it was just so much fun. Like, I remember the Hell in the Cell. Man, it was the stuff they were doing. Like literally, he choke slammed Mankind through. Like that has to be like 15, 20 feet, and
It's crazy.
it was it was the weirdest time. Like Mankind was hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
When he was like a dude love. It was just
one of the best. He's one of the best entertainers. He's so versatile. That's why I like him, Chris Jericho, and Matt Hardy, just because they've been able to do so many different gimmicks and still remain relevant. And it just shows that they're just so creative and versatile. And that's why they were able to stand the test of time. Mankind obviously was crazy. And so he had to retire early, getting slammed through a cell and things like that. But the other two, yeah.
Wait, Chris Jericho still...
Chris Jericho is still wrestling.
Wasn't there? I thought there wasn't somebody that I thought that like had something happen that killed himself or something. I thought it was a Jericho.
That is Chris Benoit.
Or Chris Benoit, that's what it was. Yeah,
Chris
that dude,
Benoit.
he had some stuff. You could see I don't know, like CTE or what, but he looked like a dude that was, he had some,
That's pretty much what the consensus is, CTE.
I mean, does that happen? I mean, are you seeing that more now in wrestling? Are they trying to protect? I know they are, obviously,
They
for the
are.
sport.
Their wellness policies and everything are a lot more strict now for that reason. But I don't think they haven't had a lot of wrestlers necessarily snap like that, but there are a lot that just banged up their bodies so badly over the years that they got so heavily addicted to prescription painkillers and things like that they've lost a lot of them really early. I think it's getting better, but yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to see some of that stuff that because didn't he like murder his family too? Am I wrong in that?
He did.
Or,
No,
okay.
he murdered his family and then killed himself.
I mean, because that happened. I've heard that story from a lot of like 70s like football players and that are just just bananas. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's another hot topic on TikTok that people want to talk about all the time. I remember I made a video asking what's your most controversial wrestling opinion, and so people came back with, Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame. Chris Benoit didn't kill his family. Chris Benoit this, and so those I didn't really touch. I think I did briefly, and other people touched it for me, but I just was like, y'all are insane.
So what else? So what else is new? I mean, do you have anything else you want to share? I know I ask a lot of questions, but...
Oh gosh, not necessarily. I mean, I don't have any big plans for anything. I am just kind of rolling with everything that I have going on. Like I have, like I said, that little following on TikTok, and I think it's a lot of fun. And so I don't have any aspirations of being a full-time content creator, but it's giving me something to do in the little bit of downtime that I have. So I try streaming. I do podcasts, things like that. Just trying to find my way in the little bit of celebrity that I've found.
Well, I think your content's awesome. I mean, coming from somebody, I watched wrestling way back in the day, but you keep it entertaining. I think it's fun. I like how you kind of you do it in a kind of a nonchalant way, because I've seen other people break down if somebody says something either kind of raunchy or just disrespectful or something. I mean, I feel like you did a pretty good job with that, and I think that's kind of. I mean, it seems like you don't run into that as much, or what? Like when you...
Not too much.
Okay, do you ever have to block anybody or anything?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
is that what you do? Is it you just basically say, all right, bye?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone gets really disrespectful in my comment section or something, I just try to reply with something funny because they want a reaction. They want the attention. So I just try to be funny, and normally they turn around because they don't expect anything to come from me. The worst things that I've had to block are more direct messages on Instagram and things like that. I've actually had independent wrestlers are gross. So they send messages and stuff and try to slide in the DMs, and I'll just block them. I'm like, hey,
Stuff.
people are gross. But you have to be, I always say too, if you're going to be on the internet and you're going to put yourself out there, you have to be tough. You got to be thick skinned. So you can't I don't care. These are people sitting at home with nothing better to do, and they probably have a lot of stuff going on in their own life, and they just want to take it out on a blonde girl on TikTok, and that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't affect my life in any way.
So what's one thing you'd like to change about being a content creator, about what you do right now?
Good question. I just wish it was easier. I wish it was easier and made more sense as far as the algorithm works, because it's all of us have a plan of what we'd like to do, and it's not an easy. It's not, but that's with anything. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But I wish they didn't value certain creators over others. I wish it was more of an even playing field, and it's definitely not, if that makes sense.
What do you think has to be done to...
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not totally sure. TikTok is a great platform because it pushes you out to the most amount of people that you can reach. but they don't compensate you, and they only compensate certain other creators. YouTube is a greater place to do stuff like that, but they don't push you out. Like, you have to bring in the audience yourself. So, it's not an easy thing to do.
So do you have a YouTube then?
No, but I'm going to. I am going to. It's just, I had to get better internet first. I had bad internet. So streaming was hard, and trying to upload YouTube videos was hard. So now I can do those kinds of things, and I can stream on YouTube and do more lives and stuff like that. So I am going to do that because, like I said, I have a lot of fun in the wrestling space. I've met a lot of cool people, and I'd like to stay in it. If I always say, like, if I could I love being a hairdresser. If I could do things over, I definitely would have, had I known that the world was going to go the way it did, I would have gotten into more like sports media or, social media personality kind of deal. That would have been more my jam, but I'm 10 years into hairdressing, so,
Well, I mean, how many years are you into TikTok wrestling right now then?
2?
So, I mean, if you get
2.
I feel like if you get big enough, I feel like it could be something. I mean, if the money was there, would you want to transition and do that full time? Just maybe the TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Now, the other question everybody has.
Sorry, Sam. My boss is listening. Yeah.
We'll put a disclaimer at the bottom.
She's like, you can't. I'm not going to go anywhere, at least entirely. Yeah.
So I see you have a lot of stuff. You're somebody that works out, knows a ton about wrestling, super athletic and everything. Mm-hmm. So, what stopped you from maybe, wanting to take the aspect of, wrestling? Is it a hard path, or I assume?
It is a hard path. It's definitely a hard path. And there's a lot of opinions on it. But I wasn't watching when I graduated high school. And I lived in a household that wasn't like, you should pursue your dreams. It was basically go to college because that's your best shot at being able to do anything. And then that didn't work out. But, the people that end up on WWE programming start out as independent wrestlers. And the independent wrestling scene is a really tough gig because a lot of those guys and gals, they get paid $20 a show and they live in their cars. And, if they really want to hustle at it and make it, it's a hard road to take, and you have to deal with the mentality of paying your dues. So you've got guys that have been in the independent wrestling scene for 15, 20 years that are going to treat the younger ones like shit. And it's just the whole, it's like anything, it's a whole politics game. And I don't want to start, especially now, I wouldn't want to start at the bottom of the totem pole when I've already been working in a career for 10 years. Like, I'm entering my 30s. I'm going to coast, and I just want to, live my life and have fun. I don't want to have to grind again to chase a dream. And and there's so many people that are, and I love that for them, but that's just not my path. If I wanted to do it, I should have done it in my early 20s, and I didn't. I went to beauty school. So I think that door is closed. I like being on the outside of it. I like reporting on it. I like making fun videos and getting to meet, different wrestling personalities. So I think that's where my passion lies for the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That also one thing you mentioned, I think was kind of neat. You'd kind of mentioned that you use kind of TikTok as a way to talk about, your passions because, maybe it's something that you don't have in common with some of your friends and that. So,
oh God, yeah.
So, walk me through how does that, I guess, how do you get to that point, I guess, So, because I talk about a lot of stuff, like, I collect cards, other stuff, crypto things. My friends are just like, I don't want to hear about that shit anymore. So, how'd you find that passion, I guess? What did you, I guess if that makes sense. Like, what?
When I made the wrestling video on TikTok and found that there was like a space for it, and then saw that there were other creators that were making wrestling content and talking about it, that's when I started doing that. Because my friends don't know anything, especially all of my girlfriends. They didn't even watch wrestling when they were a kid. I grew up with all boys. I was the only girl in a group full of boys. So yeah, we all slammed each other into tables and did body slams on the pool. And, I was just one of the boys. My girlfriends did not do any of that. So I'm not going to try and pique their interest in it. But I did have one friend go with me to the show in Grand Rapids, my cousin, Michelle, and she loved it. Like, it's just open. I feel like if you open your mind to anything, you can really enjoy it, especially professional wrestling. It's just a goofy thing. It's supposed to be fun, and people take the fun out of it by analyzing it the way that they do. But especially a live event with all of the energy there, you don't have to know what's going on. You can just be like, oh my God, what? Like, what's happening? And I would answer a couple questions here and there for her, but she loved it. And she went home and she started Googling and looking things up and finding out like, oh, this isn't that bad. Because people will be like, you ever hear the argument of, that's fake, right? That's fake. Like, that wrestling is fake. Okay. So are movies. So is anything else that you watch. Reality TV is fake.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
TV shows are fake. Stranger Things is fake. What is the difference? They're like, but they're not even. Yes, they are getting hurt. It's just a predetermined outcome. It is the only difference. But people, small minds. It's okay.
And it's so weird with wrestling. Like I went to my dad's house a while ago, and he was watching wrestling. I think it takes, for me, probably about 3.5 minutes to be totally engulfed in that episode. And I was like, wait, who's this now?
Yeah.
What? He's back? Like, and then I'm just sitting there and like none of it even like, I'm just like, and then at the end, I'm like, damn, I was watching wrestling again. Yeah. Like it is, they do such a good job with it.
If you go into it with an open mind, and another thing, if you have to stay off of, which is hypocritical, but I'll watch an episode, like a Friday Night SmackDown. I'll watch it by myself, without looking at Twitter, without looking at TikTok, without seeing anyone's opinion, and I'll voice my own opinion. It just happened this past week. Brock Lesnar came back to face Roman Reigns again. Okay, I love Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's character right now is fucking amazing. He's doing the best work he's ever done. His personality is coming through. He's Cowboy Brock. He's funny. He was on Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah, he's huge.
So
we broke the
funny.
table. He's such a big monster.
It was so good. Like, he's doing so great. I was excited to see him again. Got on the internet. Everyone's pissed. We don't want to see this again. WWE regurgitates all the same stuff. They can't come up with any new ideas. Just negative, negative, negative. When I watched the show and I was like, I really enjoyed it. So we can be swayed so easily by the negative opinions of other people that sometimes with that, it's best to just enjoy it on your own and not. I'm good at not being influenced by other people, though. I can hold my own and still be like, no, I still think it's fucking great. And I really don't care what you think.
Yeah. Well, because I'll be honest, like there is a lot. Even though you're just like about wrestling, I still like, because I've been diving into it. I've had a lot of free time. So, I'm doing the shows. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to really get into, try to figure out TikTok and even Instagram. And you can see like when people like just get derailed by somebody talking to them and then they just go off the rails and they just have all these arguments, stuff that right away, like that's just, it turns people off pretty quick.
You can't do that.
Especially if somebody agrees with your statement or the other way. Also, like the live videos, I understand some of these people do live videos for like 4 hours a day of them just doing stuff though. But they'll like leave, like, hey, be right back, guys. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And
People do live videos of themselves sleeping.
yeah, that's creepy. That's weird.
What are you doing?
I don't understand any of that stuff. Just strange. All right, so hey, one last question though.
Okay.
What's your biggest fear?
Oh, that's really dark. My biggest fear, I am so scared of dying. Death scares me.
I guess everybody is scared of
Death
that.
scares me. That's probably the biggest thing. If we're not talking about like dying, my biggest fear is just living in regret, like growing older and not taking chances that I wish that I would have, and looking back and being like, wow, you really should have just done that. You really should have just done that. And I feel like I'm trying to actively do that because I don't want to be like the majority. People age 50 plus right now are so negative and they're so down on themselves, and they spent their whole lives listening to their parents telling them what to do and this societal structure of what they were supposed to do, and they never did what they actually wanted to do. And so I make a point to not live in this mindset of, oh, you're turning 30, then you can't have fun anymore. Oh, you're supposed to be having kids right now. You're supposed to be doing all of this stuff. And no, there is no right or wrong. There is no rubric of how you're actually supposed to live your life. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you're okay with it. Like, don't listen to what other people are saying. So I feel like I'm on the right track of not having that fear become a reality of like living in regret. But I think about it a lot. Just want to make sure I'm happy with myself when I'm nearing the end of my life and I did everything that I wanted to do.
Nice. We thought to get your ducks in order.
Yeah,
for sure. Good deal. So the last thing I do, you mentioned the Slam Cancer Wrestling event.
Yeah.
Proceeds go to the St. Joe County Hospice.
Yes.
I care about that a lot too. So what? Do you want to kind of just elaborate a little bit on that? Like, what is when does that happen?
There is a local wrestling promotion, Revolution Championship Wrestling, and they are doing the Slam Cancer event. It's actually on the south side of South Bend, and it's I have the whole card that he sent me. Really nice guy that runs the promotion. He was telling me that his dad was actually had cancer and was taken care of by hospice. So such a great organization to be putting all the proceeds to, and such great pro wrestler, like indie wrestlers that not a lot of people know about, to be able to get to come see. You can go to Revolution Championship Wrestling's Facebook page and find a way to contact him and get tickets for that. But if I've never been to an indie wrestling show. So I really do want to go. I haven't purchased my tickets yet, but so far it's doing really good. Like if you want to get tickets, definitely message him now because I think they already have like the first 3 rows sold out. And I think it's only $10.
Yeah.
Like
so this is so indie. You mean just like it's
independent.
These are kind of the up and coming guys, right? These are the ones that are the hustlers and
yeah,
okay.
people that still work full-time jobs and they do this because they love it. Like that's what indie wrestling is. It's people that genuinely love it and they do it because they love it. They're not getting paid a lot to do it. Yeah.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Well, at the end, I like to give you a chance to talk about, where people can find you on either TikTok or, at your hair salon, whatever.
Okay. At TikTok, you can find me at Wheezy Blonde. You can find me at Instagram at a Wheezy Blonde. I'm also on Twitch, Wheezy Blonde. I play Sims and WW2K22, and I react to Friday Night SmackDowns, Monday Night Raw, live pay-per-views, things like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have going on there.
Nice.
If anyone ever wants to come to my salon, message me directly because people will comment on my TikToks and be like, "Where do you do hair?" And I just message me. Yeah.
I gotcha.
I separate the two.
Well, hey, that's good. I think you do a good job with it too. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, good deal. I mean, I appreciate, like I said, really, I was just kind of curious to see how, somebody from the area that, it's so big, and I think, you handle TikTok really well. If they get, you put a good content, even being somebody that's not really huge into wrestling, I think it's something that, you can watch and enjoy, and it seems like, you're having a lot of fun with it. So,
I do. I have so much fun with it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I definitely hope you continue. So, again, well, hey, thanks everybody for listening to the KQ show.